Now the people of Kappa were in complete confusion, even more so for King Afam. He had lost everything he thought he had. He had no children, and now he was going to lose the kingdom if he didn't do something fast. Azuka and Jide had been banished. Everyone was talking about who was going to be king, yet King Afam was still on the throne. The Ofo clan was gearing to take over. They wanted Ade to rule. Ade was one of the richest men of their clan, very powerful. He wanted to be king. He had a wife and he had his own children, his own sons. He wanted the throne. Afam made a last bid to fight for the throne. He went to the Ezemo and told him to tell him what was really happening. What did he mean by his sins were after him? The Ezemo told him that before he became king, when he was a boy, he had committed an abomination. He did have a child, but his child was in the evil forest calling out to him. Afam was so shocked. What could this be? What was really going on? And then he remembered. When he was a young boy, he had fallen in love with a girl called Ayo. Ayo was from a poor home. She had lost her parents. She only had her grandmother and her brother, Namdi. Ayo and Afam loved each other very much. Now during this time, Afam was from a rich home, but his father was not the king at the time. But after a few months, their clan, his family, came up in discussions to become king. His father became one of the persons nominated to become king from their clan. Now, to be nominated and to be king, one's record had to be clean. This, Afam's father had done. He was an honest businessman. He did well for himself and had his own children and wife. Now, for him to be king, the Onuhu and the other clan had told him that his son had to marry someone from the Ofo clan. This was a rare opportunity for Afam's father. He wanted to be king. So he told his son Afam that Afam was going to marry Chika. Chika was from the Ofo clan. But at this time, Afam was already in love with Ayo, and he didn't know what to do. News had already started going around that Afam's father was going to be king as long as Afam married Chika. This marriage was seen as a strong union between both clans. This way, the Ofo clan will be happy and will not fight against Afam's father. So one evening, Ayo went to meet Afam and asked him, "What is really happening?" She said, "I thought you said you loved me. Why are you marrying Chika from the Ofo clan?" But Afam explained that there's nothing he could do. He didn't want to marry Chika. It was his father that was insisting on this. But imagine if he becomes prince, he will have everything. And then eventually he can become king. This was a very rare opportunity for him, Afam said. "If I become king, then I can do whatever I want," Afam said. Then Ayo was quiet for a while. Then she said, "Afam, I'm pregnant." Afam was very shocked. "Pregnant? What are we going to do now?" Unbeknownst to Afam, one of his father's bodyguards had followed him that night and had heard everything Ayo had said and went back and reported to his father. When Afam got back home, his father shouted at him, "Who is this girl Ayo? I warned you, if this family is ascend the throne, we do not have to have any bad record. Who is this Ayo girl? Why is she pregnant?" Afam began to explain that Ayo was a nice girl. He loved her. Ayo can be his second wife, he said. He will still marry Chika as his father wants, but he didn't want any harm to come to Ayo. He didn't want to leave her. His father shouted, "Will you shut up, you stupid boy? Now you want to spoil this good fortune that is coming to our family." The next evening, Afam went to the place where he usually meets Ayo, but she didn't come. He waited for hours, but she never came. And then he left. The next day, as Afam was on his way back home, he came upon Nnamdi, Ayo's brother. Nnamdi ran up to him and punched him. "Where is my sister, you idiot? Where is she? She went to see you last night, but she never came back. Where is she?" "I didn't see her. I waited for her, but she never came." "What do you mean she never came? What did you do to my sister?" And then they both started fighting. Some people had to come, their friends, and break them apart. "What is the problem?" Nnamdi shouted. "My sister went to see him, and now we're looking for her. We have not seen her all day." "What do you mean? Are you trying to say that Ayo is missing?" "Yes, she's missing. My grandmother and I have been looking for her. We have checked everywhere, we cannot see her. And she told us that she was going to see Afam." Now Afam was surprised and shocked. If indeed Ayo was coming to see him, then why didn't she get to him? What happened to her? When he went home that night, he asked his father, "Did you do anything to Ayo?" he asked. "What kind of stupid question is that?" His father said, "Will you go and focus on being friends with Chika? She is going to be your wife. Get out of here," the father said. Deep down, Afam knew that his father had done something, but he didn't have proof. He did not know what happened to Ayo. And since that time, for years and decades, he had never seen or heard from Ayo again. Now, the Ezema was telling him that his father had thrown Ayo into the evil forest. And from that evil forest, Afam's only child cries out for justice. "You have to go into the evil forest and retrieve that child." "How can I do such a thing?" Afam said. To go into the evil forest was a dangerous thing. He was king. If he goes in there, he may never come back alive. And then he will lose the throne. Well, the Ezema told him, "It is either you go there or you will lose your life here. Your days are numbered. You will soon die. If you want to live, you have to go into the evil forest and correct the sins of you and your father," the Ezema said. Now, during this time, Ade from the Offa clan had been engineering people to rally and protest against the reign of Afam. He had lied to the people, he has soiled his hands, he has committed an abomination, he needs to come down from the throne. He, Ade, was the most qualified person to become king. Ade used all the money he had, all the resources, to convince the people to protest against King Afam and make him king. One of the people he went to meet was Ayo's brother. Now, Ayo's brother Nnamdi had become a very wealthy businessman, an honest man who helped the needy and the widows in the kingdom. The people loved him so much. They listened to him. They saw him as a righteous person. So Ade went to him and told him that he was ready to do anything to bring justice for his sister Ayo. Because now the Ezema had told the people the judgment that had befallen King Afam. He had told them of the past of Afam, and he had told them that King Afam had to go into the evil forest. Now Ade was paying for protest and paying for people to rally around to insist that Afam should go into the evil forest. He knew that if Afam goes into the evil forest, he will not come back alive. That way he can ascend the throne. So he went to Nnamdi and told him that he would support him in any way, anything he needed. Nnamdi, of course, all he wanted was justice for his sister. So he told the people that they should insist and they should rally and tell King Afam that King Afam had to leave the throne and go to the evil forest to correct his sins, otherwise great calamity will fall on the kingdom. And so the people gathered around the palace and shouted to the Onuhu and the cabinet members that they should bring King Afam out of the palace and tell him that he should go into the evil forest and meet his child there. And so the Onuhu went in. He saw Afam standing, his shoulders down. He was almost crying. "Your Highness, you have to listen to the people. You have to go into the evil forest and correct your sins. Do what the Ezemo has said so that calamity will not fall on your people." King Afam did not want to go. He knew that if he goes into that evil forest, there is a great chance he may not come back. But what could he do? The people no longer wanted him. Every day there were riots. Every day there were protests. People hated him now. They despised him. They once loved him, but now they hate him. So Afam made the decision to go into the evil forest. He had nothing left here. Chika had left him. Azuka and her son, Jide, were banished. So King Afam announced to the people that he was going to the evil forest and he will come back. Some people believed that it was possible, others did not. Once King Afam, escorted by the Onuhu and the Ezemo and the cabinet members, entered the evil forest, they watched him enter alone. The next thing, Ade began to rally around, telling his clan members they had to insist that he becomes king. But something strange happened. Where Ade had used resources to buy the people's confidence, thinking that the people would nominate him to rise as king now that Afam was away in the evil forest, the people turned around and said it was Nnamdi they wanted. Now, this made Ade very, very angry. The people said they wanted Nnamdi. Nnamdi was a righteous man. They knew his past. They know how he came. They know how he has lived his life. They did not want any sudden surprises like King Afam. So now everybody was rallying for Nnamdi to become king. Nnamdi was from the Umuhu clan. And it had been a very long time since anyone from that clan became king. Now Ade devised a plan. He invited Nnamdi over to his house. Nnamdi, believing that Ade was his friend, went to see him. As they were talking, Ade gave him some wine. As Nnamdi was about to drink the wine, something slapped his hand and the cup fell down. What is the problem? Ade asked him. He said, I don't know. I felt like something hit me. Look, it's okay, don't worry. Ade gave him another cup of wine. Drink this. This is good wine. I bought it from the neighboring kingdom. It's very expensive. Nnamdi was happy. He took the cup again to drink, but again, something slapped his hand and the cup fell down. When this happened the second time, something entered into Nnamdi's mind, and he realized that something was going on. Suddenly, he stood up and said, Ade, I have to leave. I forgot that somebody will be coming to see me this night. As he stood up to leave, Ade jumped and began to attack him. He was stroking his neck, trying to kill him. Nnamdi was screaming for help and fighting. Because this was Ade's house, nobody came to Nnamdi's rescue. Anyone who heard the scream did not come out. His bodyguards did not react. And at that moment, Nnamdi believed that he was going to die. But from nowhere, Nnamdi's sister, Ayo, appeared. Raising her hand, she struck Ade, and Ade fell down. He turned to see what happened. When he saw Ayo, he began to scream, and then he stood up and ran away. He and his bodyguards ran away from the house. Immediately, Nnamdi stood up. Ayo, what are you doing here? What happened to you? When he went to grab her, he couldn't hold her, he couldn't touch her. And that's when he realized that King Afam was standing next to her. Ayo smiled at her brother and then disappeared. Now, in the coming days, the Ezemo announced that Nnamdi was going to become king. The people were happy. Ade was banished from the kingdom, and King Afam was never seen again.